goodness. I think I'll just leave it down for a minute. Kathleen, how are you? Welcome in. Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Let me just put out the bat signal if I have it. Do I have the bat signal? Sticker. Turn. I do not. Well, this is the other bat signal. Good morning, Dave from Alberta. All right. If you want to buy this for $2,026, it's free, but if you want to buy it, Lisa by Design Studio. Good morning, Lamb Slave. How are you? Dave from Alberta. How is life doing? How is Alberta doing? How many wildfires do you guys have? And, oh, there's lots of wildfires north of you and south of you. I mean, Ryan Pacific, welcome in. Who else is in here? I think I've said hello. But if you're hiding, hello, good morning, welcome in. Fires in BC too. I know. I was looking at maps of like America, the Americas, the whole Americas, and there's a lot of fires going on. I mean, it's just going to get worse. Climate change. It's not going to get any better. It's just going to get worse. But and we seem to be upsetting the Americans. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I pushed the smoke over to you. I shouldn't have done that. I had control over the smoke, but I decided to push it towards you. We're just trying to sage your country. Inherited Curiosities, good morning. How are you? Welcome in. Marbury, good morning. How are you? Dave, don't give him any ideas. Don't give him any ideas. Rockstar Sales, good morning. Rijwan Sai, or is it just one Sai? Rijwan Sai, good morning. Hello, Rockstar Sales. I love that name. Is your name like Roxanne? So you went with Rockstar Sales? Because I think that's really cute. I like it. If your name is like Rockstar, that's even better. Roxanne Starr is your real name. Shut the front door. That is an awesome, awesome name, Roxanne. Hi, Melody. Yeah, no worries. I'm late. I was late too. I pushed it from 9:55 to 10:06, and then I didn't start till 10:10. So, you know. Feebop. Is that like mbop? But feebop, boop, bop, doo, bop. Feedabop, boop, boo, dop, boop, boop, boo. Whoa, whoa. Okay, so today, my special guest is Melody. Because we haven't had a chance to have the conversation. She had to wait for the coffee. It's actually tea this morning. I am out of decaf coffee, and I've decided I want to try some new decaf coffees. So in the meantime, I'm drinking tea, decaf tea instead. So Melanie and I are going to be continuing to do Fashion Friday until the end of August. And then we're going to be transitioning Friday to about all sellers from other categories too. So if you are interested in being co-hosting, we might do maybe instead of just one seller, we might do two sellers, and we're going to talk about how to the style that's involved in running your shows. No matter what you're selling, there's still a style involved. We're going to be talking about that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you are interested, message Melody or myself if you would like to be. So we're going to start by interviewing some folks who are in multiple categories, who have sort of spread out. So Hanson Smiles. What Liz likes. Good morning, Liz. How are you doing? So that is our plan. So we're going to continue with Fashion Friday, and then Fashion Friday is just going to become Friday, and we're going to be interviewing lots of different sellers from all kinds of categories. I want to talk to other sellers about how they're running things, how what works for them and what doesn't work for them. Like, I think we have to have honest conversations, right? And I think that's the key to improving ourselves and helping to make suggestions to improve the app, is that we have honest conversations about what works and what doesn't work. How are you doing today, Liz? Is the smoke okay for you guys, or are you also being smoked out by us? I apologize. I apologize for us. Linda Wells, hello. Okay, good. Good. Okay, you haven't no smoke. Sweet. It's almost it's actually I can see blue skies today. So this I was actually able to go outside and breathe without feeling sick. It's not hotboxing. We're saging the United States. Um Squish 2026. You want captions added. So um they're on your um they do have a feature. Hang on. Let me just because captions, I agree. Help.whatnot.com. Let me see what they say on here. Because I don't turn on captions. So I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry that I don't turn on captions. Let's see, caption. Okay, so turn on live caption during shows. All right, let's see what it says. Please hold. Someone will be with you shortly. Jessica Rain, how are you? Good to see you. Cottage Country Thrift. That is such a great name. I love that name. Are you in which cottage country are you in? Are you near me? You might be near me. I'm in Hastings, near Peterborough. Pink Magnolia. Hello. Well, Pink Magnolia Finds. I love that name. I love magnolias. Welcome in. We love, you know what? We love America. We just kind of make fun of the weird Americans. Not every American is weird. I know that because I I love America. I just don't love a few people in America. There's few people. Okay, so let me see if I can. Now that I've managed to clone that, I can go back to my show. This might take some time so that I can show you this. Hang on one second. Please hold. Because there is a way to turn on live captions during shows, and then they explain it by device. So I'm going to open it up. You can find this information at help.whatnot.com. Okay, start sharing. And we're going to share this. Bada boom. Okay, so this below me is from, let's see if it's showing. Is it showing? Is it showing down below? Yeah. Yeah, well, Squish, you can always watch later on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitch. Okay. So on at help.whatnot.com, and you aren't able to see this whole entire screen because of the way that it's set up. You can search for caption, and it says we want everyone, and they updated this yesterday. They updated this yesterday at 8 p.m. So this is new information, y'all. We want everyone to enjoy shows on Whatnot, including viewers who benefit from captions. And quite frankly, captions are good for everyone. Whether you are, I can't remember how to do it, deaf, Magnets by Marika, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Everyone, please follow Magnets by Marika. Thank you. Thank you for the raid. How are you doing, my love? I saw that you were doing a jewelry show, I think. So how did it go? Early mornings are hard, aren't they? You already followed. Perfect. Magnus Meinrich is awesome. So turn on live captions during shows. We want to help everyone enjoy shows on Whatnot, including viewers who benefit from captions. Captions are available through the accessibility tools on your device or browsers. Sellers, us, we don't need to do anything to make captions available. And then it explains how to turn on captions. So on iOS, you can click at help.whatnot.com and learn how to enable live captions on iOS, Android, a Mac, or a PC, Windows version 11, which is what I have. And also some browsers like Chrome browsers also have their own live captioning tools. So you can check your browser's accessibility settings to enable them. So this looks like it's actually a new article because it was updated yesterday at 8 p.m. and I'm the first person to say whether or not this was helpful. So there you go, because it doesn't show how many people said it was helpful. So again, help.whatnot.com, and that is where you will find it. Oof. Okay, I'm still feeling woozy from yesterday. I had stomach bugs, so I had to push both of my shows. I had to push away both of my shows, which I absolutely hated. But I and I'm still like a little I'm a little not there. So I apologize, but I'm still a little woozy. Thank you, Jessica. Um yeah, I can feel it. Like, ooh, it's there. I'm going to have another sip of tea. Maybe that'll help. Tea cures everything, right? So oops, that's not what I want. There we go. Hello again. Okay. Oh, now I can see. Now, why is it now I can see? Okay, so let me see if I can move this over at all. Okay, okay, that's way too small. That's a little bit better. Okay, so yeah, so if you go to help.whatnot.com, you're going to see live captions during shows right here, live captions during shows, and it explains how to turn on live captions by your device. Is my sound back? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so there you go. There is um, live captions during shows. You can find out that information at help.whatnot.com. Also, I think next week we will do a review of the community guidelines. We'll go through community guidelines. Because they recently updated today at 8:40 a.m. I don't know if you can see that, but 8:40 a.m. this morning, they updated community guidelines. Sometimes it's just a small word, and sometimes it is more. Um, and so we will go through and review all of these guidelines for buyers and sellers. It's going to take a while to read through all this, but sometimes it's really important to read through all this and remember they've added troll bidding, feature abuse policies, troll bidding, shill bidding, giveaway abuse, tipping abuse, referral abuse, abusing Whatnot's products and services. Um, So, like, one of the things they've added here is in order to protect the integrity of our platform, we prohibit any abuse or manipulation of products or features on Whatnot. This includes abuse of our support processes, shipping pricing, paying for reviews, excessively rescheduling shows, deceptive manipulation of discovery or ranking, such as intentionally mistagging content, or excessively rescheduling shows, as well as abuse of specific features. So they have added that in. And I wonder, because they often will put this in, they'll put new stuff in, and then they'll start cracking down. So let's see, that's user conduct, buyer conduct. Let's see, selling policies, counterfeit, comply with regulations, say what it is, off platform listing requirements graded, active show. Ooh, the active show. I wonder if they've updated that. No, okay, they haven't. Reckless and dangerous behavior, all bids binding, fraudulent activity, misinformation. Misinformation can negatively impact online communities. If content is found to be detrimental to our community and whatnot, we reserve the right to remove it. This may include widely debunked content such as misinformation promoting violent conspiracies, health-related misinformation, and hate-driven misinformation. That's new. That's exciting. These are very good changes. I love that. Okay. There's also one about sale of whatnot accounts. You may not sell or transfer your account to another user, nor may you sell or buy whatnot features such as raids and follows, nor advertise the sale of whatnot features. And I don't know if you know, but there is a company, I'm going to stop sharing. There is a company that has been doing that, selling follows. They're fake followers. They're selling fake followers. And you could buy followers on whatnot, and they're cracking down. They know that it exists. Whatnot's gotten big enough, y'all. Whatnot is big enough now that there are companies that are set up to do that. Yeah, there's companies that do it for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, yada 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 yada. But now there's at least one company that I'm aware of that does it. All right, Melody, awesome. There's at least one company that does it for whatnot now, and it's against terms of service. So don't do that. It was bound to happen. Unfortunately, it was bound to happen. Okay, let's bring on our guest today, who is Melody.
Hi, friends. Can you hear me?
Hello. Oh. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Okay, great. Yes. I couldn't for 2 seconds, but now I can. Hi, guys. How is everybody? I'm sitting on the balcony, and it's surprisingly not warm. And I'm like, what is going on? Where is the warmth? Because it's been boiling for the past days, and it's not so smoky today. So I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned.
Do not jinx it. Do not jinx it.
It was like yesterday, it was like a bonfire. Like I was walking into a bonfire. So I'm very disorganized this morning, guys. I don't know what I did with my tripod. And I've decided I think I need to buy like 6 tripods just to put all over the house.
That's what I have. You can go to, so I have lots of them. Dollar Tree. Do you have a Dollar Tree near you? Dollarama, Dollar Tree?
We have Dollarama, yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy like 10 of them and just put them in every room so that
I guarantee you will still lose them. For example, I bought 100 of these.
Yeah.
I bought 100 of these.
Yeah.
Do you think I can find one when I actually need one?
No. You can never find your measuring tape when you need one. Ever. No. Ever.
And
yeah.
So it's my life. Yeah. As Canadian Cafe says, you will still misplace the pallet of them. It is unfortunately true. It's unfortunately
Hi, everybody.
True.
Yeah, so it's cold out. It's weird. It's weird. We're supposed to be going to the flower festival today. Ooh. Yeah, it's like a flower harvest festival. That's going on for about a few weeks. It's in Laval. If anybody knows the Greater Montreal area, so it's not smoky. It's very weird because I don't understand why, and I'm actually quite concerned that it's not smoky because it doesn't make sense to me.
It's just because we had high winds that push things back.
I think it's very windy today. It's cold, so
yeah, it's gone down south.
Yeah,
it's so hitting Trump now. So
I won't go there because I have lots to say. But so we're going to this flower festival. We're going to do some blueberry picking. But I've been sleeping with the windows closed, and it feels like it just not the greatest sleep, and it just feels so stuffy. And I know you guys in Ontario are hit even harder. And I don't like, we usually get, a forest fire season. I know BC gets them quite bad every year. But here in Quebec, we usually get them um, around this time. But I don't remember it being bad like this year ever.
Well, yeah. So one of the interesting things that I learned, and then we'll get into talking about whatnot in a second. One of the
Yeah.
interesting things I learned that I didn't know is that there's a significant portion of um, Quebec's forests that
Mhm.
is actually the property of First
First
Nations,
Nations. Yeah.
and they have
A system where yeah,
they have a very heavy forest management program that they operate,
yeah.
and
And it's
so
genius. It's
it's
genius.
genius. And so
Yeah.
the Quebec government helps fund the First Nations.
Rob Ford, take note. Take note.
Bob,
It's genius. Yeah.
Doug, Rob's
Doug,
dead.
Doug, Rob's dead. Doug Ford,
Rob's
take
dead.
note. Yeah. Doug,
Sorry,
yeah, Rob's dead. Yeah. But
I met
Doug,
both
take
of
note.
them. Rob
Well,
was a nice enough guy. He just had lots of
just,
demons and
yeah,
grew up
drug addiction.
with a
Yeah.
grew up with they both grew up with a horrible father. I'll say that.
Yeah. But
Anyways,
yeah.
outside of Vancouver Island is okay this morning. Thank goodness. Could you imagine if there was a fire on Vancouver Island? Okay, no, it's not going to happen. Alternate universe there. So we don't have a lot of time. So let's dig in. Are you going to do a show after this or just chill?
No, I'm not. We're just gonna chill. Do we want to talk about our plan for Fridays yet, or do we want to wait a little bit?
Let's wait a little bit.
Okay.
Let's have a chat with you.
Hmm.
Because like now you're my guest.
Yeah,
So let's start with Melody. Could you introduce yourself and your brand
sure. So my
and
name's
what you do with
Melody.
reselling?
Yeah. So my name's Melody. I Kim and I, you might know me from Fashion Friday, a show that Kim and I have been doing for 6 months now. Could it be
7, yeah, somewhere on there.
six,
6 or
seven
7.
months, something like that? Um,
6, 7, 6, 7. We did it.
don't do it, please, please. Um, the kiddo's still sleeping. Um, so we've been doing that for about 6, 7 months. I have been on Whatnot for since 2026, 20, no, can't be 2024. Sorry, I don't know why I say 2026, 2024.
Yeah,
I wanted to
2024.
be a seller. I wanted to be a seller earlier, when all the Canadian sellers started. But at that time, Quebec was restricted. We weren't allowed to sell on Whatnot. So I became a buyer. I became a buyer and basically I made a lot of friends. It was really different back then for anybody that's new. Um, the relationship between Canadians and Americans on Whatnot was very, very different. I mean, I still have wonderful American friends who I still purchase from, to be honest, and still have great friendship with. But it was really, really different. And so I was actually selling on a different platform that allowed Canadians to sell on. And then the whole postal strike happened, and Whatnot acted very quickly and really worked on recruiting Canadians. And I jumped on board. And then during the whole um, tariff business, it started to slow down, and I started to take a little break from Whatnot. I went back to the other platform, and then I was still being a buyer on Whatnot, but I wasn't really doing shows. And then Whatnot's office reached out to me, and they were, um, trying to win me back. And I was like, okay, great. And I went back, and I found that the community had changed a lot for the better. And you guys won me over. And I originally, when I had was originally on Whatnot, I was selling books and ephemera. That was really my brand, what I sold, and some, home goods, home decor. I did try selling fashion because that is a love of mine. I have a background in costuming, particularly for like the drag community. So and I've been involved in the theater since I'm young. So that was really a love of mine. And I was doing that on the other platform. And then Whatnot was like, why don't you try to do that here, like the vintage market, and get involved in more fashion selling. So I've been doing that on Whatnot, as well as jewelry and ephemera. And I think right now I am going to branch out and try different markets on the app.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
that's where I'm at now.
I love that. So what do you remember about your first show on Whatnot? I mean, you'd already been doing live selling on the other platform, right? Or were you
Yeah.
just doing static listings? The other platform
No, no,
starts with
no.
a
I
B.
was doing live shows. My first show on Whatnot. I remember the community was really, really, really supportive. Um, I remember I remember coming back to Whatnot because of the postal strike. No one had reached out to me. I was just like, I saw Kyle and Tashawn, they were promoting and they were doing a show. And I was like, oh my God, like Kyle and Tashawn, like I love those guys. Um, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna support them. And I came on Whatnot, and a couple other from the other platform came on Whatnot, and I was watching them, and they were like, you should do a live show. And so I was like, okay. I was like so nervous. I did the onboarding and everything, and then I did the live show, and was really, back then it was like, it was really great. I don't remember what I did. I think I did books. I think my first show was
I think so, yeah.
books. Yeah. And it was like low start books. And it went really well. It was really fun. Everybody was super supportive. Um, and I loved it. And I just loved the community. Not just, it wasn't just selling. It was just, I loved you guys. Like, I love you guys. Like, it was the community that I loved. It wasn't just about like making money. Of course, like it's also, I wanted to build it into a business, but it wasn't just about that. It was really just like a place to hang out and make friends also. And that's what I remember about my first show. And like there's always ups and downs. I find the summer is always harder. So if you guys are experiencing that, don't don't um don't give up. Um and you know, set your own pace for the summer, particularly like if you know, prioritize like your family or things that you wouldn't normally do in the winter, I would say, because I think it's going to pick up. I'm hoping it's going to pick up in
It
September.
always does.
Yeah. So like, don't feel bad. Like, take the time, like prioritize your family, enjoy the summer, and it's going to pick up. It's going to pick up. Like, I would probably say like October, usually September, October.
September. September is the
Yeah.
first. Like soon
But
as kids go back to school, that's when it starts to pick up, and then it's pushed right through to the holidays.
my advice would be try to be consistent. So I've been really bad this summer. I've been really bad this summer. I'm usually pretty consistent. And it's also because, you know, it's also difficult to coordinate the Friday shows with guests because when the weather is beautiful, people want to go out. They don't want to be on Whatnot in the morning, or they've had a wonderful night and they just kind of want to sleep in the morning and they don't want to come on a morning show, which I get. Um, and so it's been a little bit difficult, but try to be consistent. So try to pick a time during the week, even if it's a community show and you're not selling, just pick a time where you just show face. If you can't sell, if you don't have the energy, commit yourself to a half an hour. I know they say like an hour and a half. I would say tell yourself in your brain, I'm going to commit myself to half an hour. I'm going to pick a time, Tuesday at 2. I don't know. Pick a time and try to stick to that schedule. And schedule 10 shows in your Whatnot profile. 10 shows the same time, half an hour. Just make it a point to just show up a half an hour. A couple weeks ago, I didn't. I I had. I think I don't remember what it was, but there was something that happened with my guest and couldn't appear. So you know what I did? I came on the balcony and I pulled out some boxes that were delivered and I did some unboxing. And you know, I did a half an hour of unboxing, just showed what I got and just chatted with you guys. And, that's just a great way to get people familiar with who you are and your brand, or just things just to get to know about you. I like to know who the seller is before I purchase from them. Um, yeah. And you can also, exactly, you could put like items in your buy it now, or put them in the market, and you just go live and people can look at your market. I don't have anything listed in my market, so I'm, um, what is it that you always say? Do as I
Do as
say.
I say, not as I do.
Yeah, exactly. Do as I say, not as I do. But like, put stuff in your market, and people will watch you, and they might buy stuff. Like, I've had people buy stuff from my market while watching me, and I didn't really make a big effort in selling stuff. So
Yeah,
that's what
and
I would say.
Little Squirrel says, I we all love a show and tell too. One things you can do too is if you went out sourcing,
Mm-hmm.
when you come home, do a show and tell and touch and
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
Touch and run it. Even and it's because even if you do a slow, like I used to do a slow show. I called it slow
Yeah.
show, and I might bring those back once a week,
Yeah.
where I've got stuff that I just got from, instead of, I do a lot of unboxings, but
Yeah.
sometimes I get stuff, high quality stuff from auctions that I don't bring to the unboxings.
Yeah.
Because I like, there's stuff that I'm going to price much higher than I do for the unboxings, but I have done a slow show, and I just call it slow show. So there's no expectation of me run, 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 run. I will say I'm researching. This is a work
Yeah.
along. You can come hang out with me and learn about the items while I'm learning about them. And so I have
Yeah.
one phone is the camera, and I have another phone that's like um that I do my research on while I'm there, and then I list it and I run it. And sometimes if you run it at the price, I'll run it at the price I was going to put it in my market, and people will buy it. So you never know, too, right? So you could list it. You're going to do your research. I got to write my little tags to go into the market. So I would do a slow show. Um, you're going to have to do that research anyways. So why not do it with company? Why not
Right.
hang out?
Exactly.
Like, same thing as
Yeah.
I did a garage sale by myself, and
Hmm.
I went live on Whatnot, and just anytime there was a lull, some people would come up and they'd pay for their items. In the meantime, I'm like showing items and running items from my garage sale. Sometimes the spontaneous stuff is what's fun and exciting, but I
Hmm.
agree, keeping your consistency during this summer is so important. And again, do as I say, not as I do, because I'm not able to keep that consistency right now with everything that's going
Yeah.
on with my health.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um, what what Liz likes. If you don't follow her, it's what, I don't know if she went back. Let's see. I'll tag. I don't know if you're in the room still, Liz. Um, at what, and then I think she added underscores. Yes. Okay. So what underscore Liz underscore likes. So what Liz likes does a Monday morning chat show. She took a break too from Whatnot, but she was like one of the OG support sellers that I went and watched her shows. Living Bliss Vintage, Jean Marie Vintage, What Liz Likes, and Foul Mouth Flipper. Hey Liz, I'm just talking about you.
Hmm.
Sorry. Those were the four that I watched religiously. Um, whatever happened to Foul Mouth Flipper? Anyways, she was hilarious. Um, and what Liz likes said on Monday, I was listening while I was shipping. I was working and lurking, and she said how she just came on and would run one thing, just run one and go. And
Yeah.
so she was still going live, and one and go. If you're not feeling that great, one and go. Run
I
one
love
thing,
that.
and even
I
if you
love
don't
it.
sell that one thing, run and go. So I would say if you're a newer seller, maybe one and go isn't going to work for you, but 10 and go. 10's not that much. 10 won't take that long. 10 and go, or just 15 minutes or half an hour, as you said. Just give yourself a little bit of time. And if you do get a chance, follow what Liz likes. Her name is right there. She's got the heart on the chat right now. What underscore Liz underscore likes. Um, Follow her and go into her Monday chat shows. Like, I don't do Monday morning chat shows anymore because I'm too busy. I'm in her show. Um,
Yeah.
so you're gonna learn a lot from Liz. You're gonna learn a lot from other sellers too about, and again, it's it's take what you like and leave the rest. That's one of the things I say a lot. I say do as I say, not as I do, and take what you like and leave the rest. I love you too, Liz. One of these days I'm going to get down towards you so I can meet you in person. So what I want you to think is, what do I like about other sellers? What do I like about Blasian Bunny? There's another awesome seller who does awesome chat shows. Everyone make sure you're following Blasian Bunny. Good morning. Good morning. I'm gonna boop you guys just so you can make announcements about when you have your next show. Good morning, Blasian Bunny. We're doing a co-host show, my Friday morning co-host show. So actually, let's talk about where we're going next with Friday.
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
I'll do it, and then you can fill in the blanks about style.
Okay.
Maybe. So,
okay.
Melody and I were talking about how it's great that we've got all these fashion sellers that we've been interviewing about fashion and about selling on Whatnot, but there's a lot of awesome sellers who have amazing style, who are showing amazing style, whether it's in how they present their shows, how they present the items, or the items they're selling. For example, Vintage by Carly would be a great guest one day, because Carly has a style. Hi, Carly.
Yeah.
Carly has a style. And so when you go into Carly's shows, you know exactly what you're getting. And that's like fashion isn't just what you put on your clothes. Style is
it's culture.
Everywhere.
It's culture.
It's culture, it's style, it's everywhere, it's art. There's so many pieces. Like I go nuts about some of my, and I talk for Wax Poetic about some of the stuff that I have that I auction, because I'm so impressed with the artistry in the item that I'm about to sell, right? Especially like old stuff where I know that the process to do this wasn't like a laser cutter. Like this was actually done by hand to cut all this out, or this was actually hand painted. Canadian Brick Cafe, yes, you do. You totally do. So we're going to be branching out starting, what did we say, mid-September?
Yeah, I like around after Labor Day, let people get settled with back to school and, the way life changes in September. You know how it is.
Yeah.
The 21st of September. Do you remember?
Perfect. Yeah. So what it's going to be is we'll do the same thing where it's like I do my hour where I interview the person and talk about the selling part, their experience, what advice they give to others, what's worked for them, what hasn't worked for them. We oftentimes we end up spitballing ideas live, and people come in and give ideas of like this, why don't you try this, or why don't you try that? So we're not going to just be talking to big sellers, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking to sellers from all categories, from new sellers as well as well-experienced sellers, because they all have something to offer to this community. We can all learn from each other, and sometimes the things that they're struggling with, everyone else is struggling with, and so hearing about their struggles and then talking it through is so valuable. And then Melody's going to take them next in the following hour and talk about the style, how they style their shows, and like get into the technicalities, but also the style part of it all. Yeah. So it's going to be all about how to style your show.
Think of it as like a Condé Nast. I never know how to pronounce it.
I think the E is Nast.
Condé Nast culture podcast. Think of it like that. There's going to be, we'll talk about art. We'll talk about, hopefully Whatnot will start letting Canadians sell food. So we'll talk about food. Maybe I'll get David on and do a demo. We'll talk about decor. We'll talk about jewelry. We'll talk about maybe ephemera. All the different categories. Maybe we'll get Corey from Stamp Pickers on here, and he'll talk about stamps. It'll just give everybody an opportunity to celebrate Canadian Whatnot sellers
and learn something from them, because each one of them
Exactly.
is going to have something that they're really knowledgeable about, that
Yeah,
they're really
yeah,
good about. So for example,
yeah,
Peacock Jewelry, you
yeah,
would talk about jewelry, and also give Peacock a chance to show off, if she was ever to be a guest, to show off the jewelry that's coming up in their next sale. Who
yeah,
knows, it might sell. It
yeah.
might sell in during the show, right? So
Or
it's
people
gonna
that
be
sell
very
toys.
toys. There are things about toys that I have no clue about,
Hmm.
but bring someone on who can explain this little people phenomenon. I would
Yeah.
really like to understand why that's so exciting. Because I'm now picking up little people if I see them in baggies at the store
And
and in auction, and just putting them aside so that when I
and
have a
guys,
big pile.
if you're interested in being on this show, send me a DM because I'm going to start booking. I want to start booking in advance. So we're looking at mid end of September to start, but I do want to start putting together the schedule. I do want to start booking. I do want to start. I'm very excited. So I want to get ahead on it. Um, so if this is something that interests you, um, please DM me. Um, or you can even message me on the gram. And it also gives me a chance to get to know you. And it gives me an advance opportunity to promote you and the show.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the thing is too is that if if it is a time commitment, because it's going to be
Yeah.
like from about, usually I start about 10:20 interviewing
Hmm.
until 11, and then you take over, and then it's usually a half hour to 45 minutes depending on the
Yeah.
person. So it is nearly a 2-hour chunk of
And
your
then we
time
rate
that you're
into
going to be
you.
volunteering.
Yeah. Then we rate into you to give you an opportunity to showcase yourself and what you
Yes,
sell.
if you want to.
Yeah.
If
If
you're
you
not
want to, you
available,
don't
that's
have
okay.
to. Yeah.
Then
You don't have to, but yeah.
Melody will just keep selling after that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're feeling
Exactly.
up to it. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and do that every Friday, but we're gonna still be doing fashion sellers until,
Hmm.
and then we still will have fashion sellers on.
We'll
So it's not
still
like
have
we're
fashion
done.
sellers on.
We're
No.
not done with fashion sellers.
Yeah.
We're broadening it to other categories, because these
Hmm.
people have, there's so much knowledge and so much information that they have to offer, that you can take into, no matter what category you sell in, you can learn something from other sellers.
And look, if you haven't started selling yet on Whatnot, I actually haven't discussed this with Kim, but I just had this idea. So tell me what you think, Kim.
Yes,
If you
freaks and
haven't,
geeks are definitely
yeah,
welcome.
if you haven't started selling on Whatnot and you want to sell on Whatnot, but you're shy and you want support and you want some cheerleaders, you're also welcome to DM me and say, look, I want to sell on Whatnot. Can I come on the show and talk about what I'm interested in selling? And that be my opportunity for my first show. I would love that. I would be honored. I think Kim would love that too. I'm not going to speak for Kim because I didn't talk to her about this, but if you're a new seller and you haven't sold yet but you want to try, you've been going into people's shows, we 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 know you, or even if we don't know you, you want to try to do a show but you're shy, or and you're looking for support, you can also DM me to be on this as well, and we can talk to you, and we can also be your cheerleaders for your first show if that's something you'd like to do as well. It's not just for people that have been on Whatnot for a long time. New sellers are welcome, and sellers that want to sell on the show are also welcome on the platform,
Absolutely.
also welcome.
So for those who are listening right now, who are on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, they can't see your name. So can you tell them your name so that they'll know and they can follow you, and tell them about like your IG and all that. Like, what are you? Where can they find you and follow you?
um so you can follow me on, I'm the same name on Instagram, so I'm pretty much the same name everywhere. I'm not really active on the other platforms. It's really just Instagram. I'm not really on TikTok. um it's really just Instagram. So you can follow me on there, or you can DM me here on this platform. I'm also on Facebook, the same name, but I don't really go on Facebook as much.
In the same way, I
Yeah,
only go on Facebook because I have to. Um,
yeah,
Vintage by Carly says, "You guys, anyone can do this. I found one off of a Facebook ad and started selling at 18 with leftover yard sale stuff. Do it
Amazing.
100%. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm part. I signed up for the Vintage Seeker, which that reminds I gotta. So Squish 2026 says, what is your name here again?
I'm gonna write it in here.
Melody, and then
And I'm also on YouTube too, so you can follow me on the same name. Something that I'm going to be doing, I just have to motivate myself to be doing, is we have a family locker, like a big locker storage unit.
Yeah.
That basically, like, stuff has just been sitting in there and nobody's really touched it, and we've sort of all, like, as a family, have agreed to, like, just liquidate that stuff, get rid of that stuff, because, like, I mean, obviously, if I go through boxes and I find something super sentimental that I know what it is, like, I'm not gonna sell it, but um, I'm gonna start going through that, like, in the near future, boxes by boxes, and just, like, selling it.
Yeah.
Because my family and I, we have all decided that it's too expensive to just keep a locker room and just leave that stuff in there. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So that's something I might suggest to you guys. If you have a locker room or something, maybe use this as an opportunity to clear out.
Get rid of some of the stuff, which I need
Get
to
rid
do.
of some. Yeah, it's hard.
I have 2 storage units, and I need to get rid of one of them, like,
Yeah.
because it's way too expensive. And I've got stuff in there that I was promised extra space at an antique market, and then it never came to fruition. Like, it was just promise.
Oh, I know that feeling.
So I have stuff that's waiting for a space that's never going to be given to me. So
is it part of your Blue Mountain stuff?
No, it's separate. It's
like, okay.
It's display cases and stuff.
Oh, really? I'm looking for a display case.
2 of them out of the Eatons in
Oh.
So they're vintage too.
Oh, wow.
Vintage.
Oh, wow.
One of them's a little beat up. They're both like they're old, right? They came out of an antique store. They're taking up a lot of light, heat, and expense. So
wow.
I'm gonna have to just Facebook Marketplace them. They're huge.
Yeah.
They're, like, huge. So
wow.
I'm just gonna Facebook Marketplace them, and then I have a ton of books that I need to.
If anybody is selling, it's kind of hard to ship, but we can always figure it out. If anybody's selling those, you know, those jewelry cases that you see at markets, like, usually, like, they have glass covers and they're made of wood, and you know, if anybody's selling those, I'm looking for market.
Like
I'm looking for some.
Up?
Yeah, exactly. If anybody is selling those, send me a DM. I know it's going to be hard to ship. We'll figure out some kind of custom shipping here on Whatnot, and just send me a message, because I've been having a surprisingly difficult time finding that here in Montreal on Facebook Marketplace. So send me a DM if you have that, or if you know someone
Remind me later, and I'll send you some links.
Yeah.
Of where you can.
And guys, write in the comments, is there something that you're looking for? Because maybe somebody on here has that, if you're looking for something specific, you know, and then they can DM you that they have it. If that's okay with you, Kim. I don't want to take over your show.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Hot hippies, what a
just
great
looking
name.
for love.
Looking for love. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love in too many faces. Second choice says, I've made them. If you want to message me, and I can tell you an easy way. There you go.
Okay, amazing.
You can
amazing.
DIY.
Thank you.
And then you can paint them or stain them any color.
Yeah.
There you go. The Pickles is just giving out some love. So there you go. Good morning, Pickles.
We love you, Pickles.
Okay, let's go back to your shows. Let's talk about your shows. So, you always try to create a welcoming space in your shows. How do you keep your energy up during a live show? How long do you usually go on for?
I try to make the goal 45 minutes, but I usually stay on for an hour and a half. But I think I've always found, usually this is what happens. I always sort of get discouraged at around the 45-minute point, but I force myself to stay on. And then usually around an hour and a half, it picks up. I'm talking like normal season, not
Yeah.
now. Usually about an hour and a half, it starts to pick up, but it's still like, should I stay on? Should I go off? I'm very, look, I want to be real with you guys. Even I am one of those people that like look at the clock, and if I'm talking to myself for 45 minutes, which happens sometimes even to me, I just don't want to stay on, but I do stay on. Um, I usually find my problem is I quit before the magic happens. So something that I've noticed is with other sellers is there's a lot of sellers, especially is Little Squirrel here?
Little
Megan,
squirrel's
are you
here,
here?
or was here. Yeah, but she might be
Uh,
looking after baby squirrel.
maybe. So Little Squirrel, she's a great example. I watch
Little
Little
squirrel
Squirrel.
506, by the way, everybody.
Little
Little
Squirrel
squirrel
506. She's a
506.
great example, and she's the person that I've noticed this phenomenon with the most. And I don't know if it's because she comes on at that twist of
There she
time
is.
zone. Look, hi. So Little Squirrel, we're talking about you because I noticed you're very persistent when you do your shows. And so often your shows will start off slow and you'll stay on for an hour and a half, and then your show will slowly pick up, but it doesn't really pick up. And that's usually the time where I give up. Okay. But I noticed that you stay on, and after around the 3 hour point, your show is booming. People are rating, people are coming in, and you're on for like another 2 hours. I don't know how you do it because you're a mama, and I'd find like it exhausting, but I just watch you and you amaze me. I just want to tell you that.
Yeah, I think
It picks up at the
the
seven
thing
hour
is that
mark.
Whatnot statistics show that longer shows do actually um, net more income per hour. The longer you're on for, the more you sell. Which sounds like it's not it's but it's actually per hour. Like you are actually making more per hour the longer you're on for. So it does actually build. And Little Squirrel says I usually run 6 to 7 hours. So what what the algorithm, now I am not written the algorithm, nor do I know what the algorithm exactly says, but if Whatnot says the algorithm, if Whatnot's team says this equals more money, then you know that probably the algorithm is written to push those shows. So the longer you're on for, the more people you're going to see come into your shows. And what I have found is that that around 1 hour and 15 minutes, I get a bump of people coming into my shows.
Hmm.
And then at that 2 hour mark, the 3 hour mark, I see a bump. And I think, and I have no proof of this, but I think that it's because the algorithm likes longer shows.
Yeah.
But if you can't do longer shows, for example, um, the serial hobbyist, I love that name, says I do 2 hours. I did 2 hours last night and I was exhausted. Yeah, keeping your energy up. But 2 hours is great. 2 hours is awesome, and maybe you can do 2 hours and 15 minutes next time, and maybe after a time it turns into longer. The great thing about in Canada, because we've got weekly bundling, is that you can end one show, start another show later on in the day, and your buyers can still buy from you and continue to add to their box, so you don't have to feel that guilt like we used to, like I need to stay on because otherwise no people aren't going to get enough stuff in their box and I'm going to feel guilty because they're paying all this shipping. Now you can go live, say it's only for half an hour in the morning, and then you take a break and you deal with the kids or whatever, and then you come on for another hour in the afternoon, and then you feed the kids, you get them in bed, and then you do another hour before you go to bed yourself, right? Yes,
Yeah.
weekly bundling the serial hobbyist, it is awesome in Canada. Now, what some Canadians were doing before this was they'd end their show and then they'd go onto seller.whatnot.com, go to shows, go to past shows, and hit within, if you, as long as you do it within 2 hours, hit restart show.
Hmm.
That will put it as an upcoming show again. It doesn't start the show, it doesn't go live on you. It just pushes the show back from past into present, upcoming, and then you can edit it and say that 3 hours from now, and just change the time to 3 hours from now, and then go live again, and that show will continue to bundle stuff for your buyers. But
Yeah.
I don't know if that wasn't meant to be the reason why they had Restart Show, was to do that. So I don't recommend it, because I don't know if it's pushing the boundaries of what I think I tried it once.
You can also
when I was
pause shows
playing.
now.
You can pause shows, yes.
Yeah.
But that only lasts for so long. Like,
Oh,
it's
okay.
more
I
like
don't. I rarely
it
pause my
doesn't
shows.
last very long, and then it'll just say it's ended. It won't let you pause. I don't know how long it'll let you pause for, but it's not like it's not for hours. So you can just hit restart show.
Carly said something really important. She said that some people aren't always looking for high energy, just a calm space to chill. And
Yes.
I agree with that. I hate shows. I will not watch shows anymore, because I do find that there are some people that do have a shopping addiction, which I think it's great that now Whatnot has put like the spending limit. But I do see that there are some people that have shopping addictions, and I find it absolutely atrocious when I see a seller who's like screaming at someone who they know. You can tell when someone has an issue when they're screaming at them, come on guys, bid it up, let's go, bid it up, come on, the clock is going, let's go, I will not watch your show if you do that. I will. And honestly, I just think I find that a lot in the States. I don't really see that in Canada. There are a couple sellers that do that in Canada. Maybe it's a great way to make money, but I find it obnoxious and atrocious. It's not my style. And it's okay if you do that and that's your style,
And
but it's
you know
not
what?
my style.
It's that's the thing about Whatnot is that you can just be yourself,
Yeah.
and people will come back to you, and you do
Yeah.
not need. I said this last week, on, I think, on the Saturday show. I talked about some of the stats that I'd been collecting, or did I say
Yeah.
that on my, anyways, like Joe Hollywood has
Yeah.
huge numbers in his room, right? Like 3,700 people were in his room.
Yeah.
Now he runs like for all near, like, it's like ages, like hours and hours and hours and hours. Sometimes he does like a 24-hour thing. Now he's making coin, but I don't know how much he's gross. Like, I can see his gross. I know his
Mhm.
gross. But the thing
Mhm.
is that out of 3,700 people in his room, he had 42 buyers.
Right.
Now, they were spending big money, those 42 buyers, but though they were going to be reselling it, they weren't like they were buying in bulk, clearly.
Mhm.
And he had a whole bunch of giveaways. So there was
Mhm.
like 30,650 odd people in that room who were only there for the giveaway. They weren't they didn't buy a single thing. They were
Yeah.
there for the giveaways.
Yeah.
And like, that's, that don't impress me much.
No,
When I see
it
that
doesn't.
30, I used to be like, oh my God, he's got 3,700 people in his room. How cool is that? And then I saw, wait a second, looking at the statistics, I mean, it's still impressive how much money he makes. I'll give him that. But 42 buyers out of 3,700 people spent all those hours, all those giveaways. Now, his giveaways are mostly sponsored giveaways, so they don't cost him anything. Other
Mhm.
people pay for them. And then, he hypes up that person who bought the giveaway, but those people weren't there to buy anything. They were, and so I like looking at statistics where it's like 17 people was the most you got in the room, and you had 13 buyers.
Yeah.
Holy poop. Like, that's good stuff. That's what I like to see. Those are, like, if you had 6 people watching your show and 3 of them were buyers, you're like, and you didn't have to
Yeah.
do giveaways in order to keep them there, because
Yeah.
you don't have to do giveaways in order to keep people in your room if they're actually there to buy or there to hang out with you. If half of the people who watch you, even if there was only 4 people in the room and half of those people bought something from you, you're doing good. You're doing, like, what are the
My best
statistics on that?
show was during the Great Canadian, the True North Raid Train, which
Yeah.
guys, Nuria is hosting now. She usually posts the sign up on it's every month of the 10th. She usually posts the sign up about 2 weeks before. So in about a week, she'll probably post the sign up or so. It was on the True North. I had 5 people in the room. 5 people in the room. Every person, all 5 people bought something from me. It was an hour show, and I think I made in that 1 hour like $1,000. Yeah, that was my
Yeah, you
best
don't
show.
need big
Five
numbers.
5 people, 5 people in the room. I was selling
Yeah.
jewelry. I had 5 people in the room. You don't need big numbers. My better shows were actually smaller and intimate. And I like to say we were talking about this on Fashion Friday with Sandra because we were talking about Chanel and luxury. And when you go into a luxury store, they're selling very high priced items, um, but there's not a lot of people in the store. When you go into a luxury store, usually there's 1 or 2 people, and the salespeople, you'll have like 2 salespeople doting on you. Um, because they want you to make that one big purchase. So I don't think that having a show with like 30 people or 100 people or 120 people is necessarily the goal. I think the goal is really to make a connection because you want those sellers be to return to your shows. You want them not to necessarily be a return buyer, but to be a return viewer because I've also found this when I've done bigger shows where I offer giveaways, often the people that win the giveaways are people that I've like the free follower giveaways. The people that win the giveaways are people that I've never heard about before. And you see their address. You sometimes the addresses are familiar, like, so is this person doing a duplicate account? But it's rare. It's rare. Um, and they rarely come back to your show. I haven't had
Yeah.
people who've won my giveaways come back.
Giveaways do not equal buyers. Coupons
Yeah,
equal buyer.
yeah,
Offer a coupon instead. Offer a
yeah,
dollar start instead. Offer something that if they follow through on it is going to equal some sort of money in your pocket as opposed to money out of your pocket. Fancy That Boutique has a question. I've got some questions back. Fancy That Boutique. So Fancy That Boutique says, when I'm doing custom shipping, should I concentrate on the person who would be buying 3 to 5 items
Hi,
or
Canadian Bread
the person
Cafe.
the person buying 15 to 20 items? So Fancy That Boutique. I'm just going to sneak a peek at your profile to see where you are located. If I can see Canadian jewelry and accessories. You got lanyards, you got cute little lanyards. Anything else in here? Got some cute little lanyards. Let's look at your shows. No shows scheduled right now. Well, hello, Fancy That Boutique. Welcome to Whatnot Canada. Don't do a custom shipping profile. You don't need to. You don't need to. You're selling jewelry. You're fine. You're fine. You're not selling custom shipping profiles in Canada are for big items. Big items. New Brunswick. Awesome. Yes, Little Squirrel is also New Brunswick, as you can see by 506 at the end of her name. So, yes, you do not need to use a custom shipping profile. Whatnot system will you have Still Signal on the bus. Canadian Bread Cafe, that's so cool. Your custom shipping profile is not needed. Just use Whatnot's weights. If you're doing jewelry and you're going to be wrapping it in some tissue and then wrapping in some bubble wrap and putting it in a small box, you don't have to add that much weight onto it. So that I would definitely say you don't need to use a custom shipping profile at all.
Jessica, do multiple.
Yeah. And then Jessica Rain asks, when doing random pulls, is it better to set up multiple shipping weight profiles or choose an average weight? Yes, definitely do multiple shipping profiles. Average weight never works out in your favor because guaranteed one person will buy 3 jackets and you've put it at 8 to 11 ounces.
Yeah.
And so
Or
you want to.
sometimes I'll be going through something and I'll go like this, like let's say clothing, and you pick up like a sweater and you're like, yeah, this feels heavy. I better reweigh this before I sell it. And then you're like, oh, it doesn't fall into the category that I have. And then it takes time to like list it at a different weight. So you're just better off to have bigger weight options. And also, there might be times when someone will be like, hey, can I bundle? And you'll be like, yeah, okay. And well, actually, you know what? Maybe that's a different thing. Because I think with bundling, like I like to weigh that at the end and then make a separate listing for that. But
Yeah.
I think it's just better to have,
ARV.
all the shipping weights, all the major shipping weights listed so that it's just smoother. It just goes smoother. Something that I recommend not doing is not having any listings and listing items one by one as you go. I've seen people doing that recently, and I think it just slows down the show and it makes people leave your show and not want to buy. So I wouldn't recommend listing as you go. I know that's a trend right now. Just at
Yeah,
least
listing
have
as
some
you
like,
go is
yeah,
so frustrating for the other people who are watching and
yeah,
waiting for
yeah,
those signs
yeah,
to come up next.
yeah,
And so yeah, and also if I come into a show and you've got nothing listed, I'm leaving,
yeah,
because as far as I'm concerned, you're not selling anything.
yeah.
So Fancy
And
That
it's
Boutique
boring.
said, Fancy That Boutique is concerned about custom shipping profiles because currently Whatnot still the default box size says 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters. So Fancy That Boutique, I flew to Austin, Texas to nag to literally in person nag the Whatnot executives and tell them how stupid the box size was. That was in April. In 2 weeks they fixed it. This box right here is fairly small for the size of box that I now ship out without shipping adjustment. I've had 2 shipping adjustments in the last 4 weeks. Okay? So don't worry. You could fill an entire, as long as your weights are right. Make sure your weight that you pick is between, so if you're doing jewelry and you have a necklace that's heavy, then make sure that you put the weight at the shipped weight. Don't do like 1 to 3 ounces for I don't have a super, of course I don't have a super heavy one handy. Like don't do 1 to 3 ounces for something like this, because it's going to be way more than 1 to 3 ounces. It used to be that I would tell you that this, if it weighed 4 to 7 ounces, that you should put it at like 12 to 15 in order to, because there's no way this can go in a 13 centimeter box and you're going to have a shipping adjustment. So you need to charge your customers a little bit more for shipping. But now it's changed. I sell books, vintage decor, huge vases, I sold a shelf the other day, was able to fit it into a box and had no shipping adjustments. So you're okay. You're selling jewelry. If you sell a box this size of jewelry, you're still okay. You're going to be okay. It's different now. I need to do
Thanks,
an
Kim.
updated show. I thought actually showing a big box would help. So you have 200 cosmetic bags to sell. Just put the weight size. Yes. So weigh it and then add a little bit on. So if say they're cosmetic bags and you're going to put them in a poly mailer with some tissue paper around them, then just put some tissue paper and a poly mailer on top of one of the cosmetic bags, bloop it down, and on you, and make sure you just add that in. It's really like, that's what I used to do, is I would have like a basket and I would put the thing in and then I'd add some paper and then I'd add a little bit more paper because I put in the label, and I used to be like really precise about it. I now know what I'm doing after 3.5 years of this. So most of the time my weights are accurate. Every once in a while somebody only buys one thing but it's really delicate and I have to double box it, and so it adds a little bit of weight, so I have a shipping adjustment that I have to use up. But I get 5 free shipping adjustments. We all get 5 free shipping adjustments per week. So you're going to be okay. Just if you notice that you're always having adjustments, it's your weights now. In Canada. In Canada, it's your weights now. I'm not even going to talk about the US thing because it's all changing, and I'm confused by it because I don't actively use it. So that is starting August 1st for the US people. And so go into if you're a US watcher and you want to know about the shipping changes, DArchivist, The Hodgepodge Place, Blasian Bunny, What Liz Likes, um, Philly Flipper, and Zoe's Treasures, and there's a few others that I trust. Like, I trust their information. Yeah, so Fancy That Boutique. Don't overcomplicate it. You're fine. You're selling small items. Just make sure that you weigh it and enter in the correct weight, as if not the raw weight, but the shipped weight, and you'll be okay. Canadian Brick Cafe says if you constantly put an 8-kilogram item as 4 to 7 ounces, Whatnot may get mad. Whatnot will actually, so if it's if it's a big change, like from 4 to 7 ounces, and it's really actually
They'll
8
charge
kilograms, they will charge you. You will get a charge on your account. Even if you have shipping adjustments, free shipping adjustments left over, you'll get charged for that. So don't do that. Abuse is abuse, exactly. And if they see it a lot, they'll freeze your account, and you won't even be able to get your money out for a while until they've investigated all of your sales to make sure that they're legit. So just don't do that. I know that there are sellers who cheat like that. And I know that there is a big seller in the United States who tells everybody to just put it at one weight and not worry about it. Well, he's about to have a really, really hard time because like hundreds of people have bought his stupid little cards telling them how to ship, and they're all useless now.
Now in the United States, you know where you could see your stats where it says like your account health?
Yeah.
Now in the United States, you're able to see your shipping, like how much you've either undershipped or overshipped. It shows you now in the States. A friend of mine in the States showed me that. I thought we were going to be able to see it here, but I haven't been able to find it. So maybe I'm mistaken.
I don't know if you have it. I'm on a lot of betas, so I get a lot of things that maybe other people don't. But let me see if I can find it. It's under account health. And then yeah, I don't see it here anymore. It used to be here. Let's see.
Absolutely,
Shipments.
Jessica.
Oh, no, it's under shipments. So it's under shipments. You go to shipments, and then you go to postal carrier adjustments, and I can see it. And it will show you if you're a U.S. seller, if Whatnot has been quietly in the background paying overage charges to USPS on behalf of sellers for years now. And so it will actually show you. So it says, these are adjustments we've received for shipments between the 20th of May to the 19th of June. And of course, I've got 0. But yeah, you can actually see if you're a US seller, go to your shipments, and then there's a drop down menu will appear if you click on shipments, and then you can see your postal carrier adjustments. But it just shows you what not the free shipping adjustments. It will show you what Whatnot has had to pay to USPS because you didn't ship properly. Because a lot of sellers were just hitting generate label and not bothering to edit any of the information. And so USPS actually has in some of their post offices, and this will end up coming to us eventually, right? Like the technology will end up coming up here too.
So it's not available to Canadians right now, only US.
I don't think you guys can see it. No.
Okay.
But it would say 0 anyways, because like we don't use a USPS, so we're not getting charged.
Yeah. True.
So, but they have these self-serve kiosks that actually use lasers and scan the box to see the size.
Oh wow.
And then also
that's so cool.
there's scale. So it's when you drop off your boxes, they urge you to use the self-serve because then it's scanned and weighed at the same time. And if you're off by even a little bit, that's an overage that gets charged. So it's like it's insane. So it doesn't show like if you overshipped, it wouldn't show that, because USPS is going to be like, oh wait, you paid too much, let me give you some back. They're not doing that. They're just if it's wrong the other way. So if you are a US seller, the one thing that I would recommend is when you measure a box, add a little bit onto it. because you go and you go, oh, it's almost 5 inches. Well, their system is going to say, with the freaking lasers, is going to say it's 5.1 inches, and that 0.1 could be more expensive. So I would even measure it in centimeters, because you can enter it on Whatnot in centimeters in every country in the world. So enter it in centimeters, because centimeters are way more accurate on your little thingy. Most of you will have one that has both. Canadian Cafe says Canadians are used to dimensional weight. We don't even think about it anymore. It's so true. Like what? But dimensional weight has come to the United States, and now Whatnot's not going to be doesn't have the flat rate, but they've negotiated a better ground advantage deal. And quite frankly, priority and ground advantage are not that much different in speed. Like it used to be that they were different in speed, but they're not anymore. So it's like, maybe it's a day later, but it's not like it's that big of a difference. So
Nurse Michelle, don't generate the label. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in, you're going to look at the order. Tell me if I'm explaining this correct, Kim, because you've done this a million times. I'm just practicing explaining this. You're going to go into the order, you're going to click on custom shipping. You're going to weigh the dimensions of your box and its weight, and you're going to put that into the custom shipping before you generate the label. If you just generate the label, it's going to put it as a 13 by 13 by 13 box. But if you go in and you put in custom shipping, and you put in the dimensions, shipping adjustments, thank you. Yeah.
So what you want to do is, let me see if I can, okay. So what you want to do is you go to your shipments on seller.whatnot.com.
Just don't generate the label without doing this.
Don't hit generate labels.
Yeah.
Don't, that little on your phone where it says generate labels, you can edit it afterwards, but don't do it unless your box is going to be 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters, because that's the label that's going to get created. So don't do that. What you need to do is go to seller.whatnot.com, click on the side. There's all these little icons on the left-hand side. One of them looks like a little truck, a speeding truck. So you want to click on the speeding truck. That will bring up all of your shipments. Oh dear, do I have a US one? Fix shipments. Oh Lord. And then what you want to do is you're going to see all of your shipments that you have. On the very far right-hand side is where you're going to find a little pencil that is for editing your shipping, editing your shipping. I don't know why it's doing this. How weird. Okay. Needs review. Oh, I see. Okay. Found it. All good. All right. So if you go to all your shipments, you're going to, that little on the very far right hand side, there's a little pencil. You're going to hit that pencil, and then it's going to pop up a little bar, a sidebar on the side, and it's going to ask you for the dimensions. Put the dimensions in centimeters, and then put in the weight in however you want to do that, grams, kilograms, ounces, etc. And that
you can use one box. Do you know how to make a custom box?
A custom profile?
No, a custom. I'm telling, because she's like, I'm not sure how to ship it. I'm using one box. Okay, message me after.
It's like half a,
because she doesn't have a box. She doesn't have a box big enough to make a bigger box. There's a way, I'll send her a link.
No, okay. In my first show last night sold 24 items to one buyer. That's awesome. Congratulations.
But isn't there a way to split it in two boxes?
Well, no, but she's saying she's confused by the 13 centimeter box. Ignore the 13 centimeter box. You can adjust that. So yes, you're going to use one box or one poly mailer. Put it all in there, package it up, get it ready to ship, and then you're going to go to seller.whatnot.com and ignore that 13 centimeter. Okay, that's just a default.
Sorry, I was confused. I thought you were saying that you didn't have a box big enough, because if you don't have a box big enough,
you can make a bigger box.
Yeah, you can make a bigger box. That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah, you can go to YouTube to learn how to make a one
Yeah.
box bigger, and that sort of thing. But or you can just get a bigger box. But it's
Yeah.
you don't need to worry about a 13 centimeter box. Again, where's my box?
Not
Where's
to
the
confuse
box?
not to confuse anybody, but Kim, wasn't there used to be a way where you could split your shipment, your custom shipment in two? Wasn't there a way that you used to be able to do that? Because I remember purchasing from a couple people and they sent me my one order in two boxes, but it was still bundled.
Okay, so let's first
Not to
stop.
confuse any,
First,
let's not to
okay,
confuse anybody.
all right. So first, we're going to start with the language because it's really important to
Yeah.
use the right
Yeah.
terms on Whatnot because otherwise
Yeah.
it gets confusing. So
Yeah.
that is so a custom shipping profile on Whatnot is a
Yeah.
totally different thing. So it's
Yeah.
not a custom. So what it is that you're editing the box. So say you and I had to do this with one shipment where I split it up. Now it and what you can do is you go again to seller.whatnot.com and you're going to do an unbundling. So you're going to go to seller.whatnot.com, you're going to click on shipments, you're going to find that shipment that you need to edit, and you're going to click anywhere on that line. Each
Mhm.
person gets like a line on the screen. So you're going to click anywhere on that line. It's going to bring up a pop-up window. And I can't show you because it's going to show people's personal information. But the pop-up window will come up. It's a sidebar that comes on the right-hand side of the screen, and it's going to show you all the different items that they have. And underneath that, you have two options. There's a little box, and it says Edit Shipment. The first option is Unbundle Shipment. The second option is Edit Shipment Details. So if you have to put it into two boxes instead of one, say one of the things is really, really delicate and you don't want to ship it with other things, so you're going to ship it separately, you are going to click on Unbundle Shipment. So you click on Unbundle Shipment, and then above you, all of the items are going to end up with a little box, a check box, and you pick the items that you want to put in a separate box. So say you've got like 3 items you want to put in a separate box, you're going to check those, and then you're going to scroll down, and you're going to click Unbundle Selected Items. Do one big box. It's closed. One
I've
big box.
confused you guys. I've confused you guys. I was just having a memory fart.
Yeah. So you're going to do one box. Nurse Michelle, one box.
One
You're going to
box.
do one box, and when you go to once you've got it all boxed up and ready to go, then you're going to go to seller.whatnot.com. You're going to click on that little icon and Stamp Picker's Wife, how are you? And then you're going to edit the details. So you're going to weigh it and you're going to measure it, and then you're going to put those 4 numbers, the 3 dimensions and the weight, into that one little box there, and then you're going to hit save. And if there are any shipping adjustments, it'll tell you, like if your weights were wrong and your actual weight is higher, don't worry, because it's your first show and you've got 5 free shipping adjustments per week. So
And Nurse Michelle, congrats on the big box.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. You had one person in your show and they bought 24 things off of you. It's awesome. Rerun Treasure says, I have my first show set to run on August 8th, weighed all my items and using Chit Chat shipping. Should I let Whatnot bundle the items for each buyer? Whatnot is going to bundle yes. Just use the Whatnot's shipping profiles and let Whatnot bundle it all together. What kind of stuff are you selling, love? Let's see. View profile. And I saw a question up above. I'm going to follow you back. One thing I would say, Rerun Treasures, is book more shows. Put some more shows in there. Even if you don't have a date for them. So you've got, I don't want to click out. It looks like you've got all kinds of really fun stuff. Shoes and purses and bras and all kinds of stuff.
Nurse Michelle, don't do that. Don't do the adjustment because you can get in trouble with Whatnot if someone tips you for the shipping adjustment. So I wouldn't recommend doing that.
No, you don't. And I don't think you're going to need one. You're not
You're
going
not going
to
need to. Yeah.
As long as your weights were right, you're not going to need it. And you get 5 free shipping adjustments. One of the things that I think, let's all take a breath for a second. One of the things that I think is that people get in their own way by overthinking stinking.
Mm-hmm.
So this is shipping becomes overthinking stinking.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah. So whatnot, yeah, definitely rerun treasures. I want to see more shows because I can't bookmark a bunch of shows. Most people will what I call boop. I call it booping. Boop, 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 boop. Is I literally will say that. I'm booping all your stuff. Bookmarks are gold because that's a high priority notification that's going to go out to that person that bookmarked the item. So it's going to be above all the other garbage that they get of whatnot notifications. So ask for bookmarks. That's number one. Ask for bookmarks.
Promote
Share
your
the
shows.
show.
Yeah.
Stamp Picker's wife says, as the shipper for Corey, I don't overthink it anymore. Yes. So Stamp Picker's wife, Stamp Pickers sells so much stuff and on all kinds of different sizes and sometimes like heavy, like an entire box, right? And
I just had an idea, Kim.
yes.
It's sorry to cut you off. I just had a really great idea. Oh, I think it's a great idea. So we are changing our format for Fashion Friday, Stamp Picker's Wife. And I was saying, which means that we're going to do it more of a culture styling show where we don't just focus on fashion, we focus on different types of sellers. And Stamp Picker's Wife, I was saying that Corey should come on the show, but I just thought, what if we had the behind the scenes people and you came on the show instead of Corey? I mean, Corey can come on
Let's not
too.
put her on the spot. It's definitely something. Let's put that on the.
Yeah.
Let's park that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna try and catch up with some of the questions because we're way below. So Revelations Gifts. I'm sorry, like we're way far behind. Revelations Gifts asks, when you do your live unboxing, do you sell as well or just show and chat? Some people sell, and they'll show the item and they'll run it, and some people will just do a chat show and just show off what they bought and whatnot. If you're gonna just show and tell, put it in the community category. Otherwise, you need to at least sell one thing or have one thing listed. And Shauna's Treasures and Art says, I've definitely noticed it was better in my last few shows, the shipping adjustments or the lack thereof. Sweet Prairie, hello. Because the Canadian Bear Cafe says, if it's not nailed down, the Red Rooster will sell it. And if it's nailed down, she will rip it down. I will. Let's see. I'm glad you're a huge rule follower. Fancy that boutique. I'm the same way. A Canadian Bear Cafe says DVDs, video games, CDs, Blu-ray, I ship as 4 to 7 ounces unless it's a box set. Okay, Jessica asked, would you guys be willing to look at my profile and see if there's anything I can improve to attract more buyers? All right, are you ready? Mel, can you do this too? I'm just gonna mention in chat.
Okay.
Mention in chat and send so we can all look at the same time. Hang on, now I gotta go back. Let's see. View profile. I have to follow you first of all. View profile. I'm not going to go into your show because otherwise we'll be gone. I like your pictures. Your pictures of yourself. I like that. I wouldn't worry about your follower numbers at all, and you're just getting started. So, and look, you already got like 35 mutual friends with me. So obviously you're doing well because you got mutual friends with me. Thriftaholic turned seller. I'm also a thriftaholic, so I feel you. Y2K, true vintage and modern women's clothes. Join me on Tuesdays to browse my beauty room and get ready with me. I love that. And you've got all these great with pictures of yourself, all these great thumbnails. My one suggestion with the text of your thumbnails is put a little bit of a shadow behind them so that they pop off of your face, so they don't meld in with your face. I keep those colors. Those are your colors. Keep your colors. Keep that branding. Just put a little bit of a drop shadow behind there, if you're using Canva or something, so that it pops out a little bit more. So I don't know if you're using Canva or what you're using, but most of them will have something where you can add a drop shadow to the back of them, and that will help it. Also, on your chatty GRWM one, the words are being covered over by the overlay. So push those words down a little bit. The other ones, you have them smack dab in the middle, and that works better. So that would be my suggestion. What else? Let's see. In your shop, let's see what you got in your shop. You got 5 products in your shop, which are just random items. I would suggest adding some specialty things that are like buy it now. I would add some buy it now things. Just even if every day you just list 2 items and put them as buy it now so they're in the shop, that gives people a chance to kind of see the type of things that they're about to expect in your show. When you can still do your random pulls, that's fine. Just pick out a few things. Even if you do 10 things a week that you highlight, then when someone goes to your shop to look at what kind of clothes you've got, they can actually see some of the examples, and they may even buy them too. So that's all I've got. All right, Melody, your turn. Any
I'm back.
suggestions?
I think, okay, my biggest suggestion in general, and it's not really like about just listing, is coupons, coupons, coupons. And I just had a thought. You can also promote on Instagram that you're going to be doing the show and you're going to be offering, let's say, a $3 coupon, a $5 coupon, get $5 off. And, a lot of people promote like sign up for Whatnot, save, what is it? Sign up for Whatnot, you'll save
$15.
$15. But you can also promote like, come to my show, you're going to use this coupon, you're going to save $5 or $4 or whatever, or 15% if you come to my show. And I just thought about that because I don't see anybody doing that. And I think that might be a good way to promote your show and to get some bookmarks.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think and make sure when you're live, make sure you remind people I'm going to be on next week at this
Yeah.
time. Make sure you bookmark that show so you don't miss out, because I'm going to be bringing XYZ, and I think you're going to love it. So that
And
would be my suggestion.
somebody had also said in the show, like, what if I don't know the themes of my show, like how do I schedule that? So you can just go in and do a repeat schedule. So let's say you go in and it's going to say, should I repeat this every week? You go yes, and then it's going to say for how many weeks, and I don't know, like 10 weeks, let's say. That way you automatically have 10 shows scheduled, and it'll be the same thing. People will still bookmark. But you can change the theme as you go. I do that. Sometimes a show doesn't work out, but I have bookmarks in that show. One thing I don't do, I don't try to collect bookmarks. I know a lot of people, what they do is they schedule a show and then they
Yeah, let's
cancel
not
the
talk about how to
show.
do that.
Like,
Don't talk about how to
yeah,
do it.
yeah,
No, no,
okay. We won't talk.
that's collect. It doesn't
Yeah,
really
collect, like,
work.
it
Um,
doesn't work. So
but
don't do that. But but sometimes a show doesn't work out or something. So what I'll do is I already have the show scheduled. I already have the bookmarks. I'll just change the name of the show. I'll change the photo. Okay, now I'm not going to be selling jewelry anymore. I'm going to be selling fashion or books or ephemera, whatever. Like, you can change the theme of your show as you go. The important thing is that you have the show scheduled.
yeah, so just schedule a show, and you can make adjustments.
Yeah.
You can change the thumbnail, you can change the title, you can change the category. The only thing is if you've pre-listed items, and you've collected pre-bids, then run that show.
Yes, that's
Just
true.
open
That's
that
true.
show, run it, and run those items that have pre-bids on them, because those are sales. If you
Yeah.
move your show more than 24 hours, you lose all those pre-bids.
Yeah.
So if for some reason you can't do your show, before you go to reschedule, go to your shop, click on, there's a new button called pre-bids. Click on that little button that's just below, it's at the very top, it'll say pre-bids. Click on that, see if there's anything there. If there's anything there, go live, say hello everybody, I'm not feeling well today, but I'm just going to run these couple of things, and then we're going to raid into somebody, and then
Hmm.
run those things, tell everyone you're just not feeling well, I got to go, love ya, let's raid, and then you raid and you're done. And also, if you're running shows, raid. Don't just end your shows. I've seen I when I raid into somebody, I leave my show running on my computer. And I get really sad when I wake up in the morning. Like if I do a nighttime show and I wake up in the morning, I go to see, like, okay, so where did we end up? Like, where did we get raided into? And I see this show has ended. And I'm like, oh, that means that that person didn't raid into anybody. And it makes me very sad because that's a lost opportunity to get follows and bookmarks, because when you
Exactly.
when you get raid, the seller should, it is etiquette on Whatnot. It is not
Even if you're
mandatory,
two
but it is
people.
etiquette. You you are meant to be, as a seller, to say thank you so much. Oh my god, Fancy That Boutique, thank you so much for the raid. You're so awesome. Everyone, make sure that you're following Fancy That Boutique. Thank you again so much for the raid. If you don't want to say make sure you follow, you can always just say thank you so much, Fancy That Boutique, for the raid. You are awesome. I greatly appreciate you. But your people in the room will go and look at that profile. Have your moderator just say thank you for the raid as an announcement in the chat. It makes a difference. Okay, we got more questions, so I'm going to try and get to them all. As Nurse Michelle's Closet asks, should we pay to boost our shows? So Promote Tools, which is the boost or promotion, is like an ad. It shows up on the For You page as, like, it says sponsor. It'll say sponsored. And so you will get seen by more people. But if your thumbnail isn't interesting, if there's no reason to click into your shows, then it's totally useless to spend that money on an ad. So you're active to get those people in the room. So also, if you're selling things that are going to be not attractive to folks who are in the United States, who aren't going to be buying, like, they're just looking for low cost items, they're not going to want to pay tariffs, and they're just going to come into your room and then they're going to leave when they realize it's a Canadian show, right? So I would like you to be cautious about using Boost or Promote Tools unless you are selling niche high-end items, a special show. Like, for example, when I was on a Wade's raid train, I promoted my show to get more people in the room because I knew that people who wanted Wade's were gonna come into the show, and I knew the algorithm was going to push people who like vintage decor and who've bought something Wadey in the past. And so that's when I used I spent money with Promote Tools in order to make money. So just be cautious about you don't need to use it in every single show. Just build your audience the natural way, which takes time. It takes time. And you need to, as Melody said, market yourself, advertise coupons, advertise anything that's going to bring people in. Let's see who else has asked questions. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. Ashley and Whiskers says, so you say to make more shows, how do you know what to title them, and what if you can't do them? Okay, you covered that, I think. So you can always just title them pop-up shows. If you don't know if you're going to be able to be consistent, title them pop-up bookmark me, and just put them in a general category. You can use, if you're sell vintage decor and jewelry and this and that, put it as a estate sale, because estate sale covers just about everything, right? And then you can always narrow it down later. Peacock Joy says, I always put pictures of myself on my thumbnails too. Fancy That Boutique, I think we got that one. I usually do random pulls. You mentioned if I don't have items posted, you would not stay in a show. Should I have items posted individually? No, just post a few special items in your Buy It Now, so that people, when they come in, they get an idea of your show and what is on offer without you having to show everything. The other thing that you can also do is, some people do, is they'll have their racks of clothes set up, right? And they will pull out a few things and hang them on the front of the racks. And then they'll take a video of the racks, and then they use that as the preview video. So you get it, when you set up a show, you can do a thumbnail as well as a preview video. And the preview video will show people, here's the stuff that I have. And that way it encourages them to bookmark that show. My issue is my eye is all makeup and skincare, and when I start showing fashion, my following doesn't connect the dots. But it's okay, Jessica. And I like that Get Ready With Me. I think that's a brilliant idea because it does mash it up. But people who wear makeup and do skincare usually also wear clothes, so they will connect the dots eventually. Just start introducing it more. You can say in your when you're doing your makeup, so as you're doing that get ready with me, you can say, get ready with me, I'm about to sell a whole bunch of awesome clothes, they're right behind me right here, and look at this dress that I'm wearing right now, I'll also be selling this, isn't it gorgeous? Let's pick out some eyeshadow to go with this amazing dress. Not this, obviously not this dress, because this has no color to it, but you know what I mean. So you can connect them that way, so they can be like, ooh, look at this, she's wearing something really cute, and oh yeah, like, and look at the stuff behind her. There's all kinds of ways that you can drag them in. Peacock says, I don't raid very late at night because people in my room are asleep. Vintage Homestead says, I tried raiding after my shows and sometimes no shows pop up to raid to. Why is that? I mean, it could be that they just didn't have any the system didn't have any suggestions for you, so you can always just start typing a letter of the alphabet and it will start showing names, and you can just pick anybody at random. It doesn't have to be anybody connected. You can just say, we're just going to go into something random. I have no idea what we're about to go into. If you don't like it, leave now before I raid. Right? Have a great day, Stamp Picker's wife. Sorry, that was probably like 20 minutes ago. So yeah, just start. Sometimes I used to just say, okay, what letter of the alphabet should we try? And everyone would say S, Q, and I'd put in S and see what come up, and then I'd add a Q and see if that changed it to somebody else's name. And then I just pick somebody. F you, yeah.
F you.
Oh yeah, and Melody said the same thing. I'm catching up. Sorry. All right.
It's okay.
I've gotten to the.
We did it.
I've gotten there. Jinx Canada, hello. How are you? I actually have I have the books I set aside for you. Right here. I left the books that I set aside for you all here. They're in a big pile. Ridiculous. One of them is holding up my mouse though, so you know. Anyways, welcome in. Okay, so it's 11:52. Let's do the thing. Everybody share where you're from and what you sell so that we can all follow each other. So I'll start and then Melody can say her bit. My name is Kim. I'm the Red Rooster. I live near Hastings, Ontario, Canada, which is 2 hours from Toronto, east of Toronto, and half an hour-ish from Peterborough. And I sell just about everything. I'm a professional auctioneer. So I sell just about anything. If it'll stay still long enough, I will sell it. And I've been on Whatnot for 3.5+ years. And I have a YouTube where you can rewatch all of my shows at The Red Rooster CA. Okay, Melody, your turn.
My name is Melody, and I'm from Montreal, Quebec. I've been on here for 2 years about. And I focus mostly on fashion, but I also sell jewelry. Hi, Naomi. I also sell jewelry, ephemera, and soon I'm just going to get back into just selling everything. And I'd love to hear what everybody else sells.
And Peacock Jewelry says, I'm Trista. I sell everything except jewelry. All lies. Peacock Jewelry sells jewelry. It's a surprise, I know. Vintage Homestead says, my name is Chris. I'm in central Alberta. Hello, Alberta. I sell vintage antique decor, mostly from estate sale auctions. I
Beautiful.
love that. Dead people stuff, my favorite.
Kim is an auctioneer. She's a professional auctioneer. You forgot to mention that, Kim.
I did. Didn't I? Didn't I say I'm an auctioneer?
No, I don't think you did.
I'm a member of the Ontario, the Association, the AOA, I don't know, the Auctioneers Association of Ontario, AAO. Deals on Style is Kyle. Hi, Kyle from Chatham, Kent, Ontario, Canada. Men's, women's, and kids' clothing at Deals on Style. Home decor, modern, vintage, antique at I Spy Collectible, and vintage designer at I Spy Luxury. Yay!
He is also my work husband.
Also work husband.
Yeah.
Fancy That Boutique. I'm in Fredericton, New Brunswick. I love Fredericton. I'm a boutique owner, high-end jewelry designer, and auctioneer too. Yay! Sell fashion, jewelry, clothing, and accessories. I love it. And I said groovy from I can't speak today. There's a bug in here.
Naomi.
Naomi from Montreal, Quebec, selling jewelry and miniatures, occasionally other random stuff, always cute things. I said style.
She's also my Marche buddy. We work at the Marche together. She's my Marche buddy. So if you guys are in Montreal, come check us out. Yeah, she's an amazing Marche.
I need a Marche to start with. We don't have a Marche. I don't think our little.
She's my market wife.
Elizabeth Oda. Hello, Elizabeth. I'm Elizabeth in British Columbia. I sell mostly women's clothing, some men's, and jewelry. Revelations Gifts. I'm Nikki from Georgina, 1 hour north of Toronto. I know it very well. One of my friends used to be your MP. We sell spiritual. Sorry, my brain. We sell spiritual self-help books, crystals, and gems, and sometimes a little bit of everything. Awesome.
Love that.
Ashley and Whiskers. I'm Ashley from Edmonton, Alberta. I sell whatever I can get my hands on. Also search for people's needs to help their collections. So if you're looking for something in particular, message Ashley and Whiskers and she will find it for you. A Fancy Boutique says, Kim, did you go to the Southwestern School of Auctioneering? I did not. I went to the Canadian Auctioneering College in Barrie, Ontario, that I don't think is operating anymore. But it was pretty awesome. Barb and Krista and a whole team of people taught me way too much. Although I never got my call right. I don't really like to do the, hey, everybody, we're going to go to 10, then 10, we go 20, 20, go 30, go 30, go 40. And we got 40. I hate that.
The farmer auctions are amazing. Farmer auctions are amazing.
I do like farmer auctions.
Yeah.
You can always get some good stuff. There's not a lot of them around here, though. Vintage Homestead says, my show today is Surprise Vintage Christmas in July. All surprise pulls from boxes. Ooh, I love Christmas in July.
So fun.
Rerun Treasures is, my name is Sarah. I'm in Toronto, Canada. I have my first show set on August 8th. I sell everything you ever needed at home, new, used, nervous but excited. You're going to do great. First of all, my first show was a shit show. My second show and my third show were shit shows. But you know what? You learn and you grow. So don't worry about it. And the community is going to just support you and be there. So just do it. We'll all be there. I'm happy that you're here. So welcome. Okay. Anybody else want to introduce themselves? And then, Melody, are we going to raid into you, or are we just going to find someone to raid?
We'll just find somebody. Who should we raid, guys?
Ask Nurse Michelle's Closet says, Michelle, I'm in Mississauga, Ontario. Hello. Have everything from women's and men's clothing and kids of the family, new and pre-loved from our closet. I love that. Awesome. That is great. Need to clean the closets out. Me too. I should probably do a closet show, but I think I'd be embarrassed at what kind of clothes I have. I don't know. I got this on Whatnot. I got this on Whatnot. I think it's awesome. It's Nygaard, and I don't usually buy Nygaard, but it's just so pretty. And it's just, but I did. Sweet Prairie Vintage Home Decor Treasures, Monday nights at 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. Vintiquity is on. I have raided into Vintiquity a couple of times this past week. So is there anybody who's on that's maybe a smaller seller or newer seller? If not, we will go to Vintiquity. Not that I don't love Vintiquity, it's just I've raided her a couple of times. Ask Nurse Michelle's Closet says, I'll run my second show on Monday night at 8 p.m. Let's see. I'm going to look and see who's on. Is there a category you guys are interested in going into? Let's see. Oh gosh, Ashley's on with like 35 people. Holy cow, good for her. Oh, you know what? My vintage stuff is on, and guess what? The title is Vintage Friday. Vintage Friday is her title. So I think we have to go there. Are you good with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bye,
guys.
Into my vintage
See you soon.
Stuff. She's doing Friday, so we're gonna celebrate Friday. You don't have to buy anything. Just give her some love. Say hello. What should we put in the chat? What emoji? Melody, pick an emoji.
A chicken.
Chicken. A chicken in
Yeah.
the chat.
A chicken.
Chicken in the chat. Okay.
Just because
chicken in
it looks
the
like
chat.
it's a barn house. That's why.
Thank you, Melody. I love you so much. Thank you
Love
for
you.
donating your time to do this. I love you.
Oh, my
We'll be
pleasure.
talking
Love
soon.
you.
All right, let's go. Chickens in the chat. Let's go. Bye for now.